it's our espresso that was really the foundation of everything. For us, we change our espresso about every week to a week and a half. So through the year, I'm doing somewhere around 35, 40 different espressos, and we never repeat on those. So there's times that I will use the same coffees, but I'm using a different percentage, roasting a different profile. So in the end, the whole flavor characteristics and nature of the espresso is different. And it's because what I've learned about the espressos, doing so many of them, playing with those different coffees, understanding the varietal characteristics, how to roast them to bring out different flavors, to join with each other's. So many different parameters that I've gone through, understanding how to bring the best out of each coffee is why the siphon coffee that we do is so successful. So it's really taking one part of the craft and using it as a base to make another part really shine. And so for everyone who's roasting out there, you really want to think about how are you building that base of knowledge? Are you just staying with the same couple of coffees and you're really exploring how those things work together? When you go into espresso, if you're roasting an espresso, I really think you should only be using from 1 to 3 coffees. Once you get past that, they start to get lost in the mix. You can make an argument for 4. I'm fine with that. That's just my preference, 1 to 3. There's no argument you can make for 5. So just stop right there. What you're trying to do in an espresso is to create the same sort of layered flavor experience that you get in a really great coffee. In a 20 minutes of tasting, you're trying to create that in, minute and a half, whatever, just a very short time of drinking that espresso. And instead of in 7-8 ounces, you're trying to create that in 3/4 of an ounce to 2 ounces, depending how you're pulling your shots. Yes. So when you roast for an espresso, you should be roasting your components separately and then post blending. Now there's an argument that has been made, and I think it's honestly a poor one, and saying, well, if you're roasting it extremely varied levels of roast level, different roast levels, then the extraction is different between dark roasted and light roasted coffees, and that's true. But the thing that you need to understand when you're creating a proper espresso blend is you do roast at different profiles. You may roast at different roast levels, but you're not roasting at city and full city plus. You just want to stay maybe city plus to full city, or city and city plus. And the thing you're changing is the profile itself. How do you get from point A to point B? That's the thing you're changing. You do have to understand, as I said, everything is an ingredient. And that's where all this time and experience and tasting come in. So it's a lot to think about, but get back to work. Start roasting, start experimenting with new coffees, move that time schedule around. You're maybe take a minute off your drying period and move it to the end of the roast. Move something from the middle of the roast to the front of the roast. Move from the middle of the roast to the end of the roast. Maybe break up your roast into 4 parts and then start experimenting with that. How are you transitioning, from your flavor development to your roast development phase? What's your, how a lot of people will talk about rate of rise. Honestly, it's pretty, nobody really sits around in talks like that who actually understands roasting. If you approach it from too technical of a standpoint, you'll never get there. I firmly believe that whether you're brewing coffee or you're roasting coffees, understand the fundamentals, taste, adjust. It really is that simple. I don't care whether you're cooking, whether you're roasting, whether you're out in the backyard grilling, whether you're actually doing barbecue and you're taking 10 hours to do it. Understand the fundamentals, taste, adjust.